It's like lifting roulette. I have no clue what the weight is back there. Oh. I don't like those. Tips to get your waist smaller. This is the last workout of the year, and Andy is determined to make sure that I don't walk all weekend long.
Added up the hamstrings. I think it's been almost a year. Hey.
I feel like I'm in a ride right now.
Yeah.
Like bracing.
Hammies and quads. 1. 3. 3. 4. 14. Give me 5 fast now. Explosive. 5. Boom. 4. 3. 2. Hold this last one. Hold. Good. Next set we'll go a good amount heavier.
So for the new people, I had this question today. It's the woman that just joined my program. She was like, what are those pads on your body? And I said, oh, she must be a new follower.
So
please tell us, what is the NewFit? What are these pads?
The company is NewFit. It is a newbie machine, and it is an FDA-approved neuromuscular re-education system, okay, or device. It uses all your handheld stimulants, and most stimulants you'll find at your chiropractor. Some of them have like this type of technology, but most are AC, which stands for alternate current. This is DC, direct current, so it creates a stronger neurological connection to the desired muscle that you're stimulating. It was mainly designed for athletes, NFL, MLB type athletes, to recover from like an ACL surgery or just recover from any type of injury a lot quicker. But through time, we found it really taps into hypertrophy well. So you put it on healthy tissue like Vic has, or if somebody like Jenna Geary in all of her videos, she has really bad arthritis in her knees, and this takes it away.
I noticed after the first session that we did glutes 2 years ago, the very next session that I did by myself, I had way better mind muscle connection. Like it just clicked in.
Way better.
One session.
Yeah, that's the difference. A lot of people are like, oh, I'm gonna buy like a handheld stimulant. I'm like, anything can lead to overtraining, but you're causing involuntary contractions versus a direct neurological contraction from this type of device.
Feels weird on the hamstrings.
Oh yeah, it'll jump because you got a lot of nerves running down there.
That's the other thing. A lot of people ask me, does it hurt? The weight that I'm lifting hurts. The set hurts. The actual exercise hurts. It just feels like tingling. Or do you think it hurts when you use it?
No, I think it depends on what frequency you're on. So the higher frequency, like this frequency, this is a contraction. This I feel like just squeezes the muscle. And then this one, that feels like tingly.
Yeah, that's tingly.
That's
the other one felt more like a cramp.
Yeah, so this goes up to 500 hertz, okay, which is the frequency. The brain doesn't recognize 500 hertz, so it does the opposite of contracting tissue. It actually lengthens tissue. So it's really good for a warm-up, or if you're in a deep stretch, or if you're rehabbing an injury and you want to increase flexibility. That's where those type of frequencies come into play. But there's 500 different frequencies, so you can play around with it for quite some time.
Let's not and say we did.
Yeah. Start small, start short.
Ow!
You have to be very careful with these. 6. I don't say that lightly. Go 12, okay?
So Nordic curls are essentially a body weight exercise. And I think body weight exercises get a bad rap as though they're too easy. But some of the most difficult things, push-ups, pull-ups, Nordic curls.
A dip?
A dip. I see people can't do body weight squats properly, right? They cheat. So body weight work is very difficult. This is arguably the best hamstring builder you could possibly do.
I would say so. All hamstring.
If you do it correctly. If you're not gonna do it correctly, you're better off doing like a seated leg curl. Or do you know the kind of a step back version of these? No, I don't like to do anything assisted with like bars and bands and stuff. I just like to take it back a notch. It's still really hard, but you want to keep your hips stacked above your knees.
Buckle you in?
Yeah, buckle me in. If you're a beginner, hips stacked above knees, and you just tip. Like that. So you can feel the hamstrings kick in. So that would be the beginner version. and give it a try. That would be hard for you because again, if you have a lot of mass up top, most men can't do Nordic curls very well because they have a lot more mass up top, so they're pulling a lot more weight up, and the hinge point is down here, right? So it's a lot of weight to have to lift. Yeah, that would be like a step down without using a bar or a band or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because then you really have to brace your core. The tipping point, I don't know, for me that part's easy, but I'm really strong. It's the coming up is when you feel the contraction and you really feel the hamstrings work.
And the eccentric all the way down is very difficult.
Yeah, the best way to build hamstrings if you're someone that wants to build hamstrings is to do slow eccentrics because hamstrings are mostly fast twitch muscles. So they're involved with speed. So you basically are training the opposite of what they're good at, right? They're good at speed, so train the opposite, and that's how you'll get the most growth.
Lower repetitions too.
Yeah, so you keep giving me like 20 reps of hamstring curls.
Yeah, but they still end up growing.
And that was it. The eccentric is the hardest part, the lowering, so take that really slow. That's where you get the most growth. If you can do the full thing, that's great, but that was my first time doing those in about at least 2 months. You can make a goal to get up to 10. The most I did over the summer was 8, right before the show.
We did 5, 6 on your own.
All right, quads. Lights.
5, stretch all the way down, all the way down. Yep, 6, 9.
Whoa, that's really heavy.
10, 14. So working set. 15, let's go. Yep, 5, let's go. 20, and then we're gonna go heavy. 5, 4, meet me. 3, 2, one more, all the way up. Up.
Oh my God. So, questions that came in through Instagram. For 5 a.m. workout, do I need fuel? I currently have coffee and alanine.
Coffee and what?
Alanine?
Beta alanine, maybe?
Yeah. Ugh.
That's a rough combo.
That would be brutal.
I would say the key thing for 5 a.m. workouts is hydration. If you can just wake up, have a liter of water with electrolytes, some type of mineral powder with your water, and stay hydrated, and then you can drink an intra-workout shake, meaning like you're sipping on essential amino acids with like powdered carbohydrate, like a Gatorade with a couple scoops of EAA's, essential amino acid, you're good to go there. Like you don't need a solid meal, but it would be good to have some form of amino acid to help fuel your pumps and recovery. But also the main point of working out in the morning is hydration, because if you're just having coffee and beta alanine, you're going to be dehydrated.
Yeah.
And from an 8-hour to a 6-hour fast, you're setting yourself up for a bad workout, low energy storage, and possibly an injury. Dehydration.
I have at least 1.5 liters if a morning workout, and I'm close to 3 liters by the time I get here in the afternoon of water.
I think people underestimate how important hydrating it is in the morning. TMI, but if I do like a liter of water with electrolytes and then start sipping on the second liter, I can go to the bathroom before I even have my coffee. I'm like, it clears me out. And I'm like, okay, I'm good to go. And then I have my coffee and then go on and with my day, because I work out at 7 a.m. So I just have a nice intra-workout shake. Or if my hydration isn't on point, my workout stinks. Squeeze 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, one more. Meet me. Up. Good.
It's like lifting roulette. I have no clue what the weight is back there, but I'm so whenever before I start, I'm like, it's gonna be really heavy.
160.
160.
You don't need to bury it. We're just gonna go for out and sweep, okay?
There?
Yeah, you go a little lower. Right there, 2. 3, yep, just a slight pause at that bottom. 7. 8, rack. Balls. Pull it. 9. Let's go 6. That's short. Okay, you're right there. 10, a little lower, sorry. 11. Quads, 12. Quads, 13. 14, one more. Pause, up.
I don't like those.
Those are good. Right there. Don't bury it, don't bury it. Right there, quads. Slow down and then quad. 3, good. Yep. Right at like 90, 4. 5, come up, squeeze those quads. I got you for 2, I got you for 2. Last set, here we go. Squeeze them hard, up, flex, boom. Slow, 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 pause, up, quad, 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 boom.
Ow. Did you add on to that? Was there more weight on that? Questions from Instagram. Tips to get your waist smaller.
Exercise, vacuums.
The vacuum, practice the vacuum. You stand like this, and you hold it like that, and now your brain starts remembering, oh, one of the functions I have is holding the stomach in, not letting that burp.
Portion control.
Vacuums. I think a lot of people just do them once in a while. Although do planks once in a while, I think doing them daily, making it like a ritual. But a non-exercise way would be smaller meals. Much, much smaller meals. It's easier when you're dieting. Yeah. You're not really gonna have a smaller waist when you're in a surplus.
Yeah, and just avoiding foods that inflame you. And everybody's different. Some people have gotten inflamed from sweet potatoes, you pull it out. And then also controlling your water while you're eating a meal. So like 15 minutes, maybe having water 15 minutes before your meal and waiting 15 minutes after the meal, so you can really just give your stomach time to digest, let your enzymes do its job and digest the food without flooding it with a bunch of fluid and solid food.
Yeah.
So separate the two.
Yeah, the immediate things are like what you eat in that moment, how you eat it. It's gonna cause bloat or distension right away. But the long-term things, more frequent smaller meals and vacuums or planks. We probably should also add, to some degree, there's genetic components. If your rib cage is closer to your hip bone, your waist can only come in. My waist, even when I'm like my leanest, I think still only got to 26 inches. And I know other girls that are my height that, Alyssa's like my height. What's her waist? Like 21 inch waist or something.
Up to 22.
Yeah.
You know, but again, it's all.
I could never achieve that.
You'll have a bodybuilder with a huge waist, but it won't look huge on stage because it's quads and shoulders. So it's all proportion. But yeah, you can only get your waist so small that your genetics allow.
Aaron Banks has a smaller waist than me. You see his measurements? It was like 25 inches. I was like, damn, dude. Next question before we get back to our workout. When doing a recomp and building muscle, can you lose fat if you're not in a calorie deficit? I'm gonna go with no. Majority of the population, absolutely not. If you're really trying to build muscle, you need to be in somewhat of a surplus.
You're gonna feel uncomfortable. You remember when we got you up like 160? Like
yeah.
We weren't losing any body fat there, but we put on a ton of muscle.
Right.
I mean, like you said, maybe for like a newbie, like 6 months into the...
Yeah, if you're new to weight training, new to a dieting, or you've been out of the game for a long time, you could start a new program and lose body fat and put on some lean tissue at the same time, being in a caloric deficit. And also if you're very overweight, you have such a caloric surplus you're carrying around already, your body is going to utilize that energy. So
but you're still cutting calories.
Right. Technically, you're still cutting calories.
Even though you're in such a surplus. Probably the easiest answer, no.
No.
You know, you have to pick one.
And don't chase two rabbits at the same time. Yeah. You're shooting yourself in the foot. If you want to get maximum muscle gains, be in a slight surplus. You don't have to put on a ton of body fat. People still think I'm incredibly lean, even though I don't feel very lean right now. But the payoff is always there at the end of it.
And it makes it more fun. Like for men and women that aren't competing, they want goals. Well, you have 3 different phases that you can rotate throughout the year. You have your deficit phase, your fat loss phase, you have your maintenance phase, and then you have your build phase. So, I mean, that also gives you something new to be excited about versus what's your goal? I don't know, I'm just recomping my body year round. Set aside portions either with yourself or with your coach where, you know, these 3 months I want to dedicate to a mini cut or 4 months. And then I want to go on a multiple month maintenance phase. And then I'm going to build up my calories and now let's go on a build. Like, and that's what keeps it interesting and keeps weight training fun.
Yeah, this feels so weird. Are my feet good?
They're low. It's 4 quads. See if it, I mean, yeah, I'd like you to go lower if you can. You can go like a Tom Platt style and get on your toes and do almost like a sissy. Like if you get down low, but just...
Now you're getting a little crazy.
Just test the weight first, you know? Try to shift your lift forward a little bit at the bottom. There we go. That'll be more quads. As long as you put your knees in.
Yeah.
Okay, racket.
The machine's built for huge people. Do you want my feet this wide?
Shoulder width is fine, yeah.
I mean, how much lower do I need to go?
Well, three. 3, 2. Push hard, push hard, push hard. Four. One more. All the way up. You're gonna hate me. Go, 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 go. 1. 5. 6. 3, 7. Back, 3 back. 8. 10. 4.
So that is a wrap for 2023. It's the end of the build season for 2023. The build continues.
The build continues, yes. 2 weeks into the build.
We don't know what's happening next year just yet. So we're gonna keep that a little under wraps for right now, but more will be revealed. Before we go, one of my main questions that I got in my stories yesterday was general fat loss tips for women. If you have a new client that start and they're looking to lose some body fat in 2024, how would you suggest that they start? Put the donut down.
Yeah, most basic tips, and I say this basic because they get overlooked because of how simple they are, is sleep, hydration. Sleep kind of correlates with just developing a routine. Whether you're following a diet, at least start being mindful of the foods you're eating, start tracking them, and then you can kind of create a baseline, whether your coach can or you can on your own, and then go from there. But I would say sleep, hydration, and developing a routine would be the most basic.
Yeah, actually, that's a really good point that I don't think we've talked about actually on my channel before. But if you've seen my videos with Jen and probably some of our other videos, there's a common thread that keeps coming up, but we just haven't really talked a lot about it, is routine. Like the biggest thing for the most successful bodybuilders, you're probably not trying to be a bodybuilder if you're watching this, but you can take a little bit from that. The number one thing I do when I'm cutting is my routine gets dialed in. It's less about the actual specifics. I think people get so nitty gritty on these like little tiny things. Should I eat after 6? And it's like, just get on a routine and stick with it. I have a fixed bedtime routine, right? I go to bed.
Often at 9, and it pretty much says, get your ass.
Go to bed. If you can develop a really good routine in 2024 and just stick with it like your life depended on it, you will be so much more successful regardless of what the other stuff that'll come. Training schedule coming in at the same time, we get a fixed schedule going, and an eating schedule.
Yeah, which all kind of correlates to the routine.
Yeah, the whole routine, I think that trips people up, and that makes it harder to stick with the diet when you're off routine.
When you're off routine, yes. When you're just winging it and you're just like, oh, I woke up at 9 a.m. this morning, I woke up at 6 a.m., I woke up at 11 a.m.
Yeah.
And then you're just, oh, well, I'm behind on this day, so let me make up for it and let me just go out and have a bigger calorie meal to make up for the calories I lost. But then I woke up the next morning early and I'm still full from the bad meal I had before, so I'm gonna skip breakfast because I feel bloated. And then it's like, it literally is a spiral down, and it's just,
You can't like get a groove going.
cannot get a groove. So
Routine is key.
routine is just
The number one tip for 2024, routine. Before we wrap up, we're building. What do you have planned for me for 2024 when we're building?
we're gonna get you back up to 160.
I've been hovering between 154 and 156, so that's another 4 pounds.
Yeah.
When I'm really consistent, that takes me about 3 to 4 months. Because I'll like jump up and then I'll jump back down and jump up. But like to get up there and stay there is like, that's my new weight.
And
160.
the plan is like getting.
I think I hit 162.
You hit 160.
Like-
yeah, you're gonna be a leaner 160 this following year then.
Yeah, I'm already much leaner at this weight than ever, so it's exciting. I will admit the last few years doing a build, I have felt towards the end like crap. And I feel really big and I don't like it, and it is still psychologically tough for me even with all my experience. But I was looking back at my photos I was showing you though.
Like I told you the entire time, you weren't that bad.
I looked back and I'm like, oh, I didn't look as bad as I felt. So that makes me excited for this year.
But that's the beauty of a build. This is per individual. Like Vic is already like at the top tier of like physique development abdomen and muscles. To push her even more, she has to get uncomfortable with food. Where someone else that, you know, still like their genetic potential still has like a lot of muscle to build, they can still do a build and have it be a comfortable build. But like athletes that come to me, like the Victorias of the world, the Jenna Gearys, that they were already like a world-class athlete before I met them. And it's like, okay, I want to take it to the next level. I'm like, okay, so you got to get out of your comfort zone. And I think this build going into 2024 is going to be great because you've done a very extensive maintenance period. After the show, you've been pretty much on maintenance since 2-3 weeks ago.
Yeah, 3.5 months.
3.5 months of a maintenance period. And that's really good. That's recommended. I just know people get eager to do one or the other, myself included. I want to bowl, I want to cut.
Impatient.
Yeah, they get impatient because maintenance doesn't sound fun. It's not glamorous. It's just like, oh, so I look the same for 3 months. Well, you're in a really good spot to push. And at the end of the build, you know it's the end of the build because you start becoming uncomfortable. The low back pumps, the tight glutes,
yeah,
huffing and puffing, you know what I mean? Because you're getting to that uncomfortable body weight. Then we hold it and then slow pull.
So more to come, you guys. If you like this video and you want to see more about my build, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and we will see you guys next year.